Welcome to Attention Retention, the podcast where we explore the world of recruitment and retention in the trucking and logistics industry. I'm your host, Jackie McManus, CEO of KJ Media, a recruitment advertising agency specializing in this space. Today, we'll be discussing the growth of social media-based recruiting. And make sure to like, subscribe on whatever channel you're listening to so you can stay up to date on all future content.
Welcome to Attention Retention with Jackie McManus, your source for the latest trends in transportation recruitment and retention.
Over the last decade, social media has transformed the way companies recruit new talent. Today, social media-based recruiting is a critical aspect of recruitment strategies for many companies, and trucking companies are no exception. Social media has become a powerful tool for companies to connect with potential drivers and fill their open job roles, as well as utilize for a retention tool. Social media is a regular part of life for most people nowadays, and truck drivers are definitely no exception. Drivers use social media to connect with their friends, loved ones, stay up to date with current events, and distress between shifts and on breaks. As an employer, you can make real connections with drivers and get them excited about your opportunity. Today, we'll be discussing the best ways to use social media to your advantage when you're recruiting. So a question I often get is, what social media sites do truck drivers use? It's important to know where drivers spend most of their time online. Then you can focus your efforts on those sites. Over 80% of truck drivers use social media. That is a staggering number. Their preferred platforms are far and away of Facebook and YouTube. About 1.8 million people have an interest in trucking on TikTok alone. These numbers, again, are staggering and give companies the opportunity to build their brand and target new employees. Let's start with 4 tips on how to recruit truckers through social media. Tip number 1, make sure your social branding and presence are strong. Drivers will research your company before deciding if they want to apply for a job. Besides for checking your reviews on sites like Indeed or Glassdoor, drivers will also check out your social media pages. If those pages are like a ghost town, they definitely won't make the best impression. Work on creating a positive brand image and active social media presence. Make sure your company has its own social profile with a good brand profile, header, image, and filled out About Us page and recent quality posts. Take a look at your profiles right now or after this podcast and think, if you were a driver looking for a new job, would you accept an offer from yourself? Would you apply to this company? It's so important to be reflective and put yourself in the driver's seat to see exactly whether or not they will go through the journey of applying to your company. Tip number 2, focus on creating awesome content on your strongest platforms. You might notice that you have higher engagement count on some platforms versus others. Nurture the sites that bring you the most engagement and followers. Play into the strengths of each website. For example, Instagram is all about visuals. LinkedIn is Facebook with a tie. And Facebook is ideal with longer posts and a combination of different mediums. YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram Stories are all similar when it comes to the video length. So it's recommended between 30 seconds to 60 seconds. You can repurpose a lot of this similar content through TikTok, Instagram Stories, and YouTube Shorts to maximize your recruiting efforts. And most of all, you want to create content that's relatable to drivers and share a positive image of your brand. Share stories about current employees, post company wins, talk about your mission, and interview drivers about their experiences for working with you. Again, back to driver testimonials. We have a whole podcast that talks about the importance of video and driver testimonials and how to utilize those creative assets on different platforms. Post questions or polls that can also encourage engagement from drivers. And once a driver interacts with one of your posts, they're more likely to see you on your feed. For example, on Fifth Wheel Hub, which is our community for drivers and a job board for carriers, we recently posted an image and a caption that started with 200,000 views, went to 500,000. And then just yesterday, I found out from one of my team members has over 1 million views. It was an exciting day, just to say the very least. Tip number 3, create strong paid ads. A strong marketing strategy includes both organic and paid methods. Thankfully, most social media sites have made it easy, because they're for-profit companies, to create paid ads. Make professional quality, visually appealing ads that you can share your company's opportunities and target active and passive candidates. Tip number 4, analyze and optimize your social media efforts. I can't stress this enough. Once you've created some content and started to recruit drivers, warehouse workers, technicians on social media, it's so important to analyze and optimize your efforts. This will help you determine what works, what doesn't work, and help you make changes that will improve your overall results. Here's a few things that you should consider while you're analyzing. How many people are clicking on your ads? How many people are engaging with your content? What type of content is getting the most engagement? What social media network is providing the best results? How much money are you spending on the paid ads? What's your cost per lead? And then you take into effect all of those details and you make changes based on your analysis. It does take time. If you find a certain type of content is getting more engagement than others, then you should create more of that type of content. If you find that paid ads are providing better results than organic posts, which they certainly will, because again, they're for-profit companies, then you should invest more money in those specific ad sets. The most important thing, you can continually test and analyze your efforts so that you can improve your results overall. It'll help you recruit more drivers efficiently and effectively. Here are just some extra tips that I wanted to provide on getting new drivers. First off, make sure your recruiting team is set up for success. Before rolling out your ads, there's a couple things to be aware of. If done properly, ads will start getting leads right away. This is great. This is gold. An average truck driver makes multiple job applications throughout the day. We all know this. Responding to applications too late can be a ROI complete destroyer and also hurt your reputation of your trucking company instead of bringing you new drivers. The same applies to any inbound messages that you may get and comments as well. The faster you are able to respond, the faster that you will be able to connect with that future driver, and then Facebook is happy. So I really encourage, if you don't have the opportunity to respond quickly, there's a lot of auto messaging that you can set up so that you can at least get back to the driver immediately and then engage into a detailed conversation once you're able to communicate with the driver one-on-one. Secondly, make sure what you said is true. It may sound silly to say this, but being in the space for about 15 years, we've seen a lot of trucking companies literally trying to make things kind of up in their social media posts just to get leads. Very aware of companies that post, up to X amount. And that really does backfire, because sometimes you'll have current drivers that work for you that aren't making that marketing dollar amount that you are advertising for. So don't do that. Maybe take a look at your gross averages and see exactly what your pay is, so that not only new recruits will be more apt to click on your ad, but also current drivers will be happy or satisfied if they were to see this ad and not receive a call to going into the dispatch. So thirdly, you want to make it easy for the drivers to apply. Always include a link to your short form. I highly oppose to having your ads go to your long ATS form. You will drop about 80% of new applicants that are clicking on their page. So definitely always have your ads go to a shorter form, collecting 3 to 7 different pieces about them, targeted questions, so that you can then roll them through your pipeline. By leveraging social media, transportation companies can reach a wide audience, target specific demographics, showcase their company culture and values, share stories from their current drivers, and build a pipeline of talent. And the use of social media continues to grow. It's important for trucking companies to adapt and leverage this powerful tool to attract quality drivers, the next generation of drivers, so that we can fill our open roles. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.